Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have taken a little personal break, hiatus if you will, clear my mind and work on some uh, other little things around here that needed to be taken care of. Now, when I had a second channel briefly, I did say that I was going to use that for the purpose of showcasing stories I wrote in that years ago, pictures I took, poems I wrote, things of that nature. But since I combined that playlist with this channel, tonight I thought would be a good a time as any to read you two short stories. Now, one I wrote not for Lackawanna Junior College. That's the school I was attending in my 30s back in Hazleton years ago. One is. So, looking at this date, it's hilarious. Um, English 2, Mr. Moore. Now, this teacher at Lackawanna Junior College had also been a teacher of mine in high school back in 82. I believe it was business law that I took from him. And it was a really good class. He taught it very, very well. Well, he was an English 2 teacher in Lackawanna Junior College, and he was a really good teacher. And I used to enjoy the writing assignments from him. They were fun. So this is a story that I got a 94 on, an A, called Men, Boys, and Toys. My grandmother used to say, the only difference between men and boys is the price of their toys. I truly believe this statement since I've seen it proven time and time again. My boyfriend is a great father. Occasionally, though, it's hard to tell who is the parent and who is the child. My first glimpse into this phenomenon was the day my older sons received their Sega Genesis system. My boyfriend Ronald bought it for them because he thought they would enjoy playing it. Well, he was right. Randy and Bobby enjoyed playing it, and so did Ronald. He enjoyed it so much that he spent about $200 or more on tapes for the system, for the kids, of course. When Randy showed promise as a basketball player, Ronald was there practicing with him and taking him to the playground. He watched basketball games on television with him to show him what he was doing wrong and help him improve his game. He was just helping him out, he said. This is the same man who can't get over the fact that he still doesn't own a Harley. Now, this was at the time that he didn't have a car yet either. He doesn't own a car either, but that doesn't hurt as much as not owning that motorcycle. However, he has found a way to soothe his wounds. Our son Ronald will be the proud recipient of his very own Power Wheels. Of course, it doesn't matter that this is an expensive purchase or that our son will be the only child on the block to own his own motorized car. The little fellow has been so good. He really would enjoy riding it, his father reasons. I know for a fact my son has never mentioned that he wanted Power Wheels. His dad wants it and just doesn't want to admit it. Have you ever been to a Little League baseball game and watched how some fathers act? They belittle and degrade children on the other team, scream and yell obscenities back and forth to the parents of these other children, and make complete fools of themselves. If their team wins, of course, they're singing their son's praises. And if the team loses, dad is right there. Not to offer any encouragement, but to point out to his lowly son everything that he did wrong. I finally figured out why men act this way with their sons. They're trying to relive some childhood all over again. To a point, it's harmless and nothing to worry about. It's probably part of the male bonding process. I just wonder how my guy will deal with his son when he's old enough to play softball or join karate. Who will be participating, Ronald or our son? I'll sit back and let it run its course after all. Boys will be boys. Just now I heard giggling and laughing coming up from my yard below. I looked out the window to see my sons and Ronald playing a game of baseball. I don't see a man playing with three little boys. I see three boys just being themselves and a bigger boy who wishes he could. 1995, yeah, that was at that time. He didn't have a car yet. When he was a teenager, he had several underage drinking fines, which he didn't find out about until his early 20s when he was working good and wanted to buy a car and went to get his license and found out that in PA they held all those underage drinking fines he never paid against him. So he couldn't get his license, I think, till he was like 22, 23, somewhere around there. And it is true, my son was the only child in the neighborhood had that Power Wheels, and they were not cheap when they came out, let me tell you. We had two batteries for it, and when Ronnie got too big for it, we sold it for about less than half of what was actually paid for it with the batteries. But my son got a lot of use out of it. He was popular with that, especially with the little girls. And it just brought out the big kid in his dad so much, so much. It was just like, wow. But I'm reliving memories here, reading this story. I don't see a man playing with three little boys. I see three boys just being themselves, and a bigger boy who wishes he could. Yeah, always a kid at heart. So that was a short story that I came up with for English. I don't remember what the topic was. Now, this is a story I came up with on my own. It was not for Lackawanna Junior College. I did try to get this published. I actually found cover letters from 2011. And with my old phone number back then, which was kind of interesting, I was like, wow, I don't remember that number, but there it is. This doesn't have a title, so I'm not sure what I would actually call it, but here goes. This is a little funny, and this is true too. In every shopper's life, there comes a day when they're faced with the decision to exchange an item or request a refund. Each store has their own policy concerning refunds and exchanges. Some drag it out with lots of paperwork. No, wait. Some make the process short and sweet, and some drag it out with lots of paperwork. Sorry about that. In my situation, the item was a grill, and it had no wheels included. On my visit to the store where I purchased the grill, I prayed for a quick and easy exchange. I slowly approached the customer service desk, carrying my carton containing my 18-inch Patio Pal grill. I expected to be greeted by a smiling, courteous clerk. The lady behind the counter was an attractive blonde, intent on filing her nails. She was neither smiling nor courteous. I stood at the counter waiting patiently. The woman kept on filing away. I coughed loudly. She glared at me with contempt, but kept herself busy working on those 5-inch nails she had. Disgustedly, I slammed the box on the counter and banged the little bell placed conveniently in my reach. Lo and behold, she showed signs of life. I believed oxygen had finally reached her brain. Slithering over to me, she inquired what assistance I needed. I politely explained to her that the grill I purchased came without the wheels necessary to move it, and I wished to exchange it for one that had wheels included. After all, I thought, if I had wanted a walk, I would have purchased a walk. Still holding the nail file, the clerk bent down and rummaged through some papers under the counter. I figured she'd lay it down on the counter and tell me to fill it out. Not quite. Fill us out, she cackled to me. I stood on tiptoe and peered over the counter, certain that there was a freshly laid egg down there somewhere. I wrote up my name, address, phone number, and reason for return. I threw the paper back down on the counter. She took my carton and placed it behind the counter. Then she informed me I would have to get another grill. She pointed her 5-inch nail in the direction I should go. Did I look that stupid? I wondered about that as I was looking for another Patio Pal grill. Several minutes later, I found one. Ripping open the box furiously, I dumped the contents on the floor and counted every piece to be certain all was there. I was not going through this again. Satisfied with my search, I threw all of the parts back in the box and headed back to the customer service desk. I had noticed that the instructions were barely visible to the human eye, and they appeared to be written in some foreign language. Since the grill is made in China, that seems to explain why. I was contemplating buying a magnifying glass as well when I walked up to the clerk with a perfect manicure. Beaming, I showed her the new grill. Immediately, she noticed the box had been opened. Did anyone tell you to open the carton up? She asked. No, lady, I thought. No one told me to do anything. I am a dissatisfied customer who took it upon herself to check and make sure all the pieces of the grill were there. The customer is supposed to be right. Well, now I'm a satisfied customer. As I was leaving the store, I glanced over at the clerk. There she was, filing her nails again. I made a mental note to myself to look for an easy job like that next time I'm job hunting. I think it'd be great. I'm thinking now maybe I should have bought a magnifying glass too while I was there. After all, I'm a satisfied customer, but I'm not the fool who will be trying to assemble the darn thing later. And actually, it was Big Ronald who put that Patio Pal grill together for me. Now, we had a big grill, but the reason I wanted this little grill was so that I could use it on the porch for small things like, say, shish kebabs or that, so I didn't have to go run up and down over a dozen steps to the yard to the bigger grill. So that was why I bought that little grill. And that grill was cheap. I don't even think it was $20 at the time. But, yeah, I don't have a title for that particular story. But, it's a little bit funny. And that story about the Power Wheels and Sega, yeah, that just brought good memories back to me. Very good memories. Well, guys, I just wanted to share those two stories with y'all. I got plenty more and some poetry as well. Let me know if you'd like to hear more of my stories, and I'll be sure to do another video. Tomorrow I have to go for my cortisone shots for my knees. I should be going to a food pantry. And if everything works out, I will probably upload a food pantry haul tomorrow. Those videos always do good for me. So, yeah, we'll see. I just touched base with the lady a little while ago. She's picking me up from my orthopedic doctor. I'm getting my cortisone shots. I'm sort of overdue. Now my left knee will probably be bleeding, probably gushing. What happened last time I got a shot in my left knee, the needle hit something in my knee, and I yelled so loud. Well, when I went outside to sit down and wait for my ride, bending my knee, it just blood squirted out of my knee through the Band-Aid. It was running down my leg. When I got into the van to come home, the driver seen the blood on my leg because I had capris on that day and said, "Oh my God, do you need to go to hospital?" I said no. And thank God he had paper towels. He wet them with some water and was handing them to me. I was trying to hold it on my knee because for whatever reason, my left knee bleeds so much worse than my right knee. So fingers crossed, we'll have a food pantry haul video tomorrow tomorrow, and I'll be able to upload that in the evening. But let me know, guys, if you want to hear more things I wrote, and maybe I'll actually motivate and self-publish them on Amazon down the road. I have finishing touches on my children's book, and that's a little bit of what I was actually working on. And hopefully I'll be able to soon give you a little bit of an excerpt from that book as well. I would love to be able to get that published or self-publish that as well. It's a wonderful story, and I don't know, I'm just proud that I came up with the idea for it. But more about that in a little bit down the road. Not too far away, but not right around the corner, but close, very close. So I'm kind of excited about that and about getting these stories to y'all so you can check them out. Well, guys, take care. Let me know if you want to hear more stories and poetry. And I will see you all real soon. Good night.